Hey everybody, this is Doug with Artfully Rogue. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the basics of TIG welding, and I chose the ArcCaptain 200P ACDC machine to do that. Not only is it a great machine in my shop, which is a large production workshop, but it's also great for DIYers and beginners because it's so user-friendly. And stick around because later in the video, I'm going to show you how I've been using the ArcCaptain 200 on my latest sculpture, a Spanish bull, El Toro. Okay, but before we get to that, let's talk about the basics of the ArcCaptain 200P. This LED screen is why I really love this. So when I go through the modes of AC TIG, which is aluminum, DC TIG, which is steel and stainless, and then you have MMA. MMA settings are here, and this is your stick TIG. They're easy to see. Now in AC TIG, you have the choice between 2T, 4T, and spot, pulse on, pulse off, square wave and triangular wave. Now this is where you actually adjust your amps, and then you can go deeper into the controls by going into the weld cycle profile, and you can set your post flow for the gas, you can set your upslope, you can set your top working current, your downslope, your post flow. Now here in AC you can also deal with the frequency, which is a nice ability to have. And you can also work on the balance. So if you want to change the balance in the in the AC setting. Now, the same thing can work in the DC. Where you 2T, 4T, and spot. Pulse on, pulse off. You don't have to worry about the wavelength here. Your knob on the right also sets your amps. Depress that knob and you can set the individual settings within the weld cycle profile, just like you did in AC. Now, I will get into all of these settings independently as we go through the process of learning more about this machine. Now, this is another question that I've had from a lot of people. They just don't know where to start, like what are the settings? Well, ArcCaptain has made this very easy. If you're doing aluminum, you just follow this graph and it'll show you everything that you need. Same thing with steel and stainless. All the information you need to make this machine work for you is right here on the side panel. These are all settings that have been pre-tested and are ready to go. And then I'll show you how to fine-tune those as we get further along in this video. But first, let's take a sneak peek at the bull. So I'm working on the horns, and to get the shape I used a spray foam, and to dial in the contour I use a sculpting clay. Next, I want to use a plaster to create a mold of the horns, and that's where the TIG machine is going to come in after the mold is made, so I can actually TIG the metal in the shape of the horns. So before I start welding on the bull itself, I want to make sure I get the machine dialed in. Now, because I'm in Spain right now, the material that I have is in the metric system. This is a 4mm flat bar. So I'm going to look on the chart here on the side of the machine, and as you can see, it falls in between 1/8 and 3/16. So I'm going to have to play with these settings just a little bit. For right now, I'm going to start with 100 amps. And also on this chart, it's going to show you the type of tungsten that you need. It's going to show you the type of cup that you need. It'll also show you what you should use as your pre-flow and your post-flow on your gas. Now, speaking of gas, like MIG, TIG requires a shielding gas. In this case, I'm using an argon gas. And on the gas tank gauge, you want to set that right around 12 bar. You can also get that information right on the chart with the ArcCaptain. Okay, in preparation to TIG weld, I've removed the mill scale from the two test pieces that I'm going to be using. However, you want to make sure that your surface is entirely clean with TIG welding. So, I'm going to use an alcohol. A lot of times you can use an acetone. I don't have that here, so I'm just using alcohol. And you want to make sure that you clean that surface to remove any residual dirt or dust. All right, so with a very well organized, large display and easy to adjust, let's make some adjustments to our settings. So our pre-flow is already set to 4, that's good. Let's get over here to the post-flow, and it's already set to 6. So that means we are good to go. Our amps are right at 100. This is what we're going to start with. Okay, so unless you actually work in a welding shop or you weld frequently, you may not notice this, but there's no cooling fan running right now. This has a smart cooling fan. Not only is it energy efficient, but it only runs when it needs to. So you don't have this constant droning noise in your ear while you're welding. This is so nice. And on top of all of this, the machine has a 5-year warranty. All right, let's put some tacks onto these little test pieces.
Okay, let's see what we can get going here.
TIG welding requires a lot of practice. It's a combination of controlling your speed with one hand while adding filler with the other hand. I'm definitely still practicing.
All right, it's a little awkward having the camera here, and my table is not the best, but that actually worked out pretty well with regards to my first test. Let's go ahead and try the pulse setting. I'm pretty pleased with both of those. I got a little deep with my filler rod right about here, a little too much. I could feel my hand kind of give a quick jab. But as far as the first test goes, I'm pretty happy with that. Let's jump onto the bull real quick. Okay, so if you haven't noticed already, I'm working with some bike chain, and I'm going to keep this on pulse because I figured for me that's going to be the best option. Oops, I just touched it. Now touching it changes everything. Now let's see if I can. It wasn't too bad. Okay. This is really nice because I'm in an apartment complex here in the city, and throwing spark with some flux core isn't great. Okay, so I'm pretty pleased with how the steel TIG welding went. I'll finish the rest of the hoofs off camera and show you later. Stainless is the next test, and I can't get hold of stainless here easily without paying an arm and a leg, but at the store I picked up these little stainless A's, and I'm going to be able to put the ArcCaptain 200P ACDC to the test. It says that it can weld thin material. This is probably about 1 millimeter, close to 1/16. And so we're going to weld these together and then see how that goes. And we're going to put them on the bull someplace. And I've never done aluminum, so after this, we're going to weld some aluminum and see how that goes. All right, thin stainless, let's see what you got. I'm at 40 amps and using pulse, so let's see what happens here. Dang, look at that. That's magic right there. Nicely done, ArcCaptain. That's a thing of beauty if I do say so myself. And like I said, that's 1 millimeter stainless. Stainless is historic for warping. But with the pulse, you can kind of control that heat a little bit better. It's got some heat there at the top. Kind of cools off as I got moving a little bit faster. So here, where it's a little bit more blue, I slowed down a little bit, but then I started to speed up a little bit where it's kind of more that straw color. And then with a nice finish. How's it look on the other side? All right, also nice. And really, not really much warping. You can see that it's got a little bow here, but that's just because I've welded on one side. But well done, ArcCaptain. But before I get on to learning aluminum, a plaster cast for the horns is complete. And now I'm going to use the interior of this to lay in some nails, and then I'm going to be able to TIG weld the nails in place. Once I have the two halves together, then I'll weld those. So Let's try my hand on aluminum since I've never done that before, and then we're going to get back on the horns. So I prepped the aluminum by using a Scotch-Brite pad, and now I'm going to kind of remove any residual dust and debris with an alcohol swab. You can see it's still a little bit dirty here. And I'm being careful not to add my own oils from my hands to the aluminum. I'm assuming, like stainless, you don't want to contaminate this and you want a very clean surface to TIG weld on. Now I'm going to look at the chart and see what is required. Okay, looking at the chart, I am going with aluminum. I'm using 1 millimeter. I'm going to switch to AC. My amperage is right up between 47 and 60. I'm going to use square wave. Okay, so we're going to use a wave selection here. And this talks about tungsten, filler, pre-flow, post-flow. And all the way over at the end here, it says balance is 25. Okay, so let's go set the machine. All right, we're going to go AC. We're going to stick with 2T. I actually want to do pulse. We're on the square wave. All right, and it said the post was 5. Let's go between 40 and 60 and set that at 50. And then let's go down to the pre-flow. That's 4, that's good. Oh, there we go. We can go back up. I think we're good. We're going to let that settle in and do its thing. Okay, so we're AC, 2T, pulse, yes, square wave. We have that set. All right, oh, and the balance. Let's go back over here. Balance. It said 25. Now, with regards to frequency, I didn't see a frequency setting, but let's just double check what that is right now. That's at 59. Let's just round that up to 60 for right now and see what that does. Okay, so a quick change. I referenced the owner's manual for the ArcCaptain 200P, and it says the optimal frequency is actually 120 to 150 hertz. So I'm going to bump that up from 60 to 120, and we're going to start there. Now be prepared. I know that this is going to happen, but I want you to be prepared. You're going to hear like an electrical sound, like it's going to sound something different than what you've heard so far. That's normal. But let's go ahead and try to pulse TIG weld aluminum for the very first time right here on camera. We'll see what happens. Okay, not bad for my first time. Okay, so there you go, first time aluminum welding. But here's the deal, for full disclosure, what you just saw me weld was not my first time. My first time on camera looked more like this, which was a freaking mess. Here's why. One, I didn't have filler rod. I guess you need filler rod for aluminum. Two, I didn't have the right tungsten. So I had to go out and get the filler rod, and I had to go get the tungsten. And I go ahead and try with the new filler rod and the new tungsten, and I got this. So, okay, a little bit better. Not great, but a little bit better. And then what you saw just now was actually probably my 5th or 6th attempt at trying to weld aluminum. That being said, I'm excited. I'm excited that I now have a machine that I can practice on my aluminum welding. Once I get the settings dialed in, once I have the aluminum prepped and everything is looking good, I think it's going to take some time, but I think with practice, I think it's going to actually be pretty cool. So let's jump back onto the bull real quick and let me show you where I am with the horns. I know this is going to be a time-consuming process.
every single nail has to be bent specifically to its location before welding it in place. And this is only 1/4 of what I need to do. Since I have 4 molds, I need 4 sections to create 2 horns. Okay, so there's some basics with the ArcCaptain 200P and TIG welding. So I know that the sculpture is going to take some time. Heck, these horns are going to take some time. My aluminum skill level will take some time and some practice, but I know now with the ArcCaptain 200P, I can do that. If you're wanting to get into TIG welding and you're looking for a machine, I would definitely suggest the ArcCaptain. They have some really good equipment. If you're looking for something, you know, within a reasonable budget, ArcCaptain will also help you there. If I have any discounts available for this machine or any other machine from ArcCaptain, look down in my description and you will find those. And until the next video, I'll see you guys.